Good morning, everybody. We are in Tomah, Wisconsin at the KwikTrip truck stop right now. I'm going to go head over to make our delivery here to the Walmart DC, one exit away. There we go. Gotta find which Roberto wanted. Alright, so as a reminder, I was just here not too many weeks ago. I do have footage of that here on the channel, so some info there as well. You know what? Double check. So I got like talking points. I'm not going to have too much to talk about here on in this particular video because I do have a reload that I'm going to be picking up today, later on today as well. And some of the info that I got one more car coming from the intersection. It looks like they're turning into here as well. Turn real quick. We're head east on 94 from here. The very next exit is where the Walmart DC is at. We'll start with double check. All right. So first, let's get the big elephant in the room out of the way. That will be my truck. So, you guys know I'm a lease op with John Kushner Trucking. This load here is unofficially my payoff load. In other words, after this load is complete, when I get paid for when I actually get paid for this load, which will be a week. Should be a week from today. Let's focus on the traffic here and kind of get that guy in time for he got over now. Looked like the speed difference was just low enough where I could go ahead and do that, but I was prepared to use the breakdown lane if need be, but it looked like he was making an effort to get over behind tonight. So, alright, Industrial Avenue coming up, that's where we're going to exit at. So anyway, last week, at the end of June, my truck balance was just over $1,100. Paycheck that I just got, the settlement I just got in my bank account today. Actually, the settlement was yesterday, but I got paid. I get paid this morning. Made over what was that? I think $840 payment or something along that line toward the truck. So down to only about $270-ish remaining on truck balance, officially as of today's settlement. So, and the number of miles that I ran on this load here, about 1,950 or so, is more than enough to cover what's left of the truck balance. So, so we're crossing the finish line on the truck payments here with this load here. I think the miles, because with our lease program here, I pay, there's two parts of it. There's a fixed amount of $120 every week that you pay no matter what. Doesn't matter how many miles you run. And there's another amount that is mileage based, and you pay a certain amount per mile. So most of our drivers pay 25 to 26 cents a mile. This is an older truck, a 2016 Peterbilt 579, and 2016 model trucks were only 22 cents a mile for the cost, so that's all I pay. So we're talking 600 or yeah, because the 2,000 mile trip, that's not 660, 440. Because every 1,000 miles is 220 miles, so we'll just say a little bit over 400 on the regular truck payment plus the 120 automatic, so that's over 500. About 550, 560ish, somewhere in that ballpark is what I would normally be expecting to pay toward my truck. But with only 270 or so, that's going to put me close to $300 in the positive as far as what goes to the truck versus what goes in my pocket. Alright, this is the entrance here. As you see here, they do have a staging lot here, so if you get here early, you actually can hang out here on the lot. Don't plan on getting past the guard shack more than an hour before your appointment time now. Let's see. Alright, okay, like I said, it's going to be shorter. I'm going to go ahead and, they're walking up here anyway. How you doing?
How are you?
Good.
What you got me? All those POs?
Oh, yeah, unfortunately.
You've been in here before?
Yeah.
I'll get it started for you.
Okay. Alright guys, we are ready to dock in. I got Simon at door 29. Standard L-shaped formation here, or the building design here. Door numbers are different here than they are elsewhere. At most Walmart DCs tend to have like a 100 door, 100 row or 200 row, whatever, for one side, and then the other side would be like 300 row or something. So these are numbered in a different order. Door 29 is I'm going to be a little bit further away from the shipping office, or as they call it, the CTO. Look like, yeah, we'll go this way because looks like the yard jockey's looking for one of these, wanting to look at one of these trailers here on the right. I think he found his candidate. Turn my headlights off for a minute so I'll help him out. I want to shine have my headlights pointing at him while he's trying to back into a trailer. Alright. For good courtesy, guys, whenever you're pointing at somebody who's backing, turn your headlights off. When you're trying to back up your own truck and trailer, you'll understand why that is. Alright, does not look too busy here right now. I know there are a couple of trucks in line behind me. Okay, so the door is right in front of us. If we go down to door 29, which is going to be a little further down, will be where we're going to dock in at. Okay, right over here in that corner is the central receiving office. Like I said, normal standard Walmart layout here. Probably going to be further down where that truck with the dedicated trailer is at. maybe not, I don't know, maybe not quite that far, but it'll be somewhere in that ballpark. Oh no, it's right here. Okay, as long as we're clear of this guy here. Yeah, I can wait till I'm all the way lined up with my door before I back in, before I worry about opening my doors and all that. Not quite perfect, but it's not far off. Yeah, I'm gonna need to open the doors before I get too far back though, because that rail thing there, whatever. Alright, let's get the doors open now. Actually had a lot more room to get. I could have gone a lot further back, but at that whatever it is over on my driver's side, I was seeing it was giving me the impression that I was going to run out of space. So, yeah, as far as getting my doors open were concerned, but it was an illusion. Yeah. All right. I'll get disconnected, pull forward, and turn our bills in. Man, they got me on got 80s, not 80s, but 90s music in my head now. When I was in there checking in, they had Garbage, Stupid Girl playing. And then that song ended, and then Montel Jordan, This Is How We Do It came on. I'm like, oh yeah, I like this music, you know. Now I got both those tracks in my own library. So anyway, we got hooked up. I mean, not hooked up, but disconnected. Pull forward, then we'll head out. Alright, for those of you guys who are perhaps newer to driving or going to become drivers, I know it was high-speed footage, but I don't know if you noticed it or not, if you're watching that. I don't know if you saw any of the any water come out of the landing gear handle there. And before I even start to crank it, I don't know if you saw me kind of rocking it back and forth like a pendulum. Kind of like a grandfather clock. The water is exactly why I do that. Anytime you pick up a trailer that has been sitting for much long at all, or I mean, like so, if you don't know if it's gone through the, let's get this turned off too. Don't have to listen to that. So if you don't know what I was saying, yeah, either if you're acquiring a trailer that's been sitting and you have no idea what kind of weather it's been through, to be sure, or if you actually drove through weather with the trailer you already have, like what just happened there, because I got rained on really a pretty good amount on I-80 in Nebraska. To much less extent in Iowa, but a lot got dumped on in Nebraska. You know, so the landing gear lever tends to accumulate water there. And if you go to crank the landing gear and forget to do that, the water's going to end up all over you, and it's probably muddy as well. So probably don't want to make that mistake. So be sure to kind of shake it back and forth like you saw me doing there, so it goes all on the ground instead of all over you, and then start cranking it. So anyway, I'm gonna fill this form out, go turn my bills in, and we'll have some more for you. This is gonna be a shorter video because I do have other stuff I want to talk about related to the way the trip out here, but I have I have a certain spot that I have in mind for starting the next video, and it gives me extra I can talk about in that one, and so plan on the next video being a little bit longer. Alright guys, we're all done here. It's about a quarter to 6. Got here around docked in around 2:50. Raise my airbags. Check my weight. Yeah, we're good. Alright, as soon as this guy here gets docked in or enough out of the way, we will pull forward, double check that I got my load lock back, and get out of here. Alright, looks like we're good there. I don't have to go very far forward. That should be good. Alright guys, we're ready to get out of here, sort of. I'm ready to pull away from the door, but we have Knucklehead here blocking the lane and opening his doors. Again, there's no reason to do this shit. Even if you're only wasting someone's time for a minute, you don't need to be blocking people from passing. Yard jockeys could be passing through also, and they have a lot of trailers that they have to move. See it every time I'm anywhere. I always see people doing this shit. I don't even slide my tandems here. They don't require you to slide your tandems back, but he's doing it there. It's a nice courtesy to them, and I can't fault them for that part. The only thing I'll fault him for is blocking the lane to do his to open his doors when he doesn't need to. Okay, now we can finally. Oh boy, he's got his doors open, closed as well. Don't tell me he's going to block the lane to open them too. I'm not waiting for your ass. You don't even have your fucking doors open, dude. I'm not waiting. you're gonna make me wait for you. I'm not. You're gonna wait for me. Okay. Now we get out of here. So there is a lift down the road here that I'm gonna top off my reefer tank. 6.7 miles from here. Yeah, I'm gonna stop there, at least top off the reefer tank. Fuel price is not so good, $5.64 looks like, so does not look like something I want to get fuel from. We'll have to look at EFS to see if there's a much better price I can get somewhere else in the region. I can still run another 200 miles, so that should be able to get me at least into Iowa. So I don't know. Look at places to go for fuel anywhere between here and Iowa. I do have a reload that I will be deadheading to as soon as I leave here. That one will be picking up in Belvedere, Illinois. We'll talk more about where that one's going in that particular video, though. So I do have other stuff. One other little detail I want to talk about in this one on the way out of here before we end this video. But let me first get past the guard shack. Alright, OTR, left lane. Now see what I mean? Like last time I went over to the Walmart DC, I'm in the wrong lane because they all do things a little bit different. Sometimes they want you in the left lane, sometimes they want you in the right lane when you're checking out. This one's in the left lane, but I think last time I was at a Walmart DC was what? I think the one in Ochalata? Well, I mean outside the one in Colton. Last time I delivered to Walmart DC, I think was the one in Ochalata, if I remember right.
Check the back. You have a good day.
You too. I'm gonna come all the way to the stop sign, but okay, I want to come actually a little further up. Actually, no. You know what? If I go too far forward, I might have a hard time getting my door closed. So. Don't know how quickly Martin's gonna get rolling here, but he beat me by like just a split second. I was just about to start rolling forward, and he started rolling forward right at the same moment that I was about to start rolling forward. Okay, so Belvedere, Illinois, that is where we are off to next. The Maricold facility, those always are Walmarts. Or every time we pick up from there, they're Walmarts. And you're cutting that corner kind of tight there, Wally World. Probably doesn't help that your tandems as far back as they are. Alright, looks like we're good. Man, there's plenty of room here on this turn, so don't need to cut it that tight. Even without going into the other lane at all, I had tons of room there. But yeah, keep in mind he has the tandems considerably further back than I have mine, so he's going to have a wider turn radius for that. Alright, so one other thing I do want to talk about here. Okay, we're going to get on eastbound 94, by the way, and end up on southbound 90. And we'll take 90 all the way down into Rochelle. There's two towns over there that are similar named. Get them mixed up. Rockford and Rochelle. Whichever one of those two is further north. The one that does not have the Blue Beacon, Petro, and the other truck stops there is the one that I'm going to be heading east from. Can either take US 20 or stay on I-90, whichever, doesn't matter. That'll be the way. I mean, it's a short distance east of that interchange there where 90 and I-39, I think where those two split off, something along that line. Let me reset my odometer and my trip meter here. I have like 4 trip meters on my truck, and I like to set each of them for different reasons. So my A trip usually tells, let's see, 90 and 94 ahead. Alright, usually set the A trip meter to when I'm loaded. As soon as I'm done loading, I'll reset the A trip until, and then I know how many loaded miles I've actually have elapsed on my trip. And then the B trip, I reset at the beginning of every shift to tell me how many miles I've actually run that particular shift. Do a lot of past midnight kind of driving, so I can't necessarily go by what I can't go by what this thing says. Because some of the miles on a shift go on the day that's before midnight, and then some of the miles end up on the shift that's after midnight. Highly likely this next load is going to be exactly that kind of case too, because it doesn't pick up until 2000 tonight. Unless it's a drop-in hook, but I don't know for sure yet if it's a drop hook or a live load. We do both there, so I'll have to find out for sure which type it's going to be and how early I can check in and all that. So, alright, so one other thing I want to talk about before I end this video is, because I talked about how the load that I just finished here is my unofficial payoff load. Unofficial because it will effectively be the one that pays my truck off. However, gotta get the settlement to confirm it as make it official. So that'll be coming really soon here for that. I'll probably be showing that. You know, hey, truck balance is 0. They only show you your truck balance at the end of every month. Very last. But something I do want to talk about here is I am in arrears on a maintenance account, and by a pretty fair amount. Generally speaking, they don't let just any Tom, Dick, or Harry JCT driver get their maintenance account as far in the hole as mine is before they'll tell them they have to either turn in their truck and leave, or go company driver, or upgrade to a new truck. Or something, or swap to change to a different truck. Well, I am currently over 16,000 in the hole. I was actually over 17,000. There actually was a time last year when I was 21,000 in the hole. And normally they're not going to let anybody, let drivers get anywhere near that amount because they assume a risk when they do that. Mechanics still got paid for all that work. If it didn't come out of your account that you had money in, you know, that JCT had already paid you to put in, to have in that account, then where's that money coming from? It's coming out of JCT's pocket. And if it comes out of JCT's pocket, now they are assuming a risk. They're assuming a risk that you're actually not going to quit your job, your position, whatever, or you're not going to have a crash or get terminated or whatever the case might be. So there are considerable risks in there, and I'm sure there's a lot of bean counting that goes on in there to figure out how much they're willing to bend on doing that for some drivers and not others. How profitable your truck is, I guarantee they have a database, spreadsheet or something on there that they use to figure out how much total revenue your truck makes for them and how much profit your truck makes for them as well over time. And when your truck's not making them money at all, bye-bye, you're out of here. Or you're making us money, but your truck's causing too many it's costing us too much. We're gonna swap. We want you to swap change trucks. So that can happen. All right, there's the Loves here. I'm making progress on this repaving though. All right, so understand that. All right, I've heard stories that they have a $6,000 limit on what they'll let drivers be before they start forcing them out, but I think that's more of a general rule of thumb. For the average driver who's only been here, like, no more than a year, perhaps, maybe 1 or 2 years at most. Now, mind you, I've been here for 4 years, and I almost never turn down whatever load they offer me. So, and there could be stuff that they might want me to take just because it's a higher profit load for them. Hey, there's some give and take in there. It's like a lot of drivers here have a more selfish look at it and only care about what benefits them. And I'll tell you what, that's not a good way to run business. If you only care about yourself, then you're not running it equitably for the person, for the company that you're working with, or the person you're working with, whichever the case might be. So you have to be willing to do some give and take here if you want to last here. If it's all about you, don't waste your time here. You're not going to last. You're not going to be a very happy camper. That or JCT will not be a very happy camper, and they'll just, it won't take as much stretching there for them to say, we're going to let you go, as they might for me. Where, like I said, I don't turn down loads. I run a lot of miles. I do a lot of, I know I run profitably for them a lot, so I'm sure that had a lot to do with the fact that they did it this way. We're actually willing to stretch and front me more money for maintenance issues than they normally would. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and wrap this one up here. It's a good spot here to change out my SD cards too once I get through getting fuel here. So. And I'm going to have plenty more I can talk about on the next video or picking up in Belvedere. You'll probably see that one posted on the channel about a day after you see this one. This one should be on the channel the same day that I deliver, if all goes well. The Belvedere, which would be the 7th, Thursday the 7th, and then the Belvedere pickup, depending on how things go, might have it ready for you later in the day on Friday the 8th, all right? All right, otherwise, I'm going to go ahead and call this one a day, and we'll see you all later, all right? You guys have a great day.